All right, we are going to interrupt our regularly scheduled retrospective on X-Men and talk about the Dexter series finale. Now, I would have had this video out a little sooner to when the thing actually aired, except that when I first tried to sit down and talk about the thing, what the f? So, you know, I took a few days, calmed down, came back to try again. So I've let things simmer down for a little bit, and I'm gonna give it another go, talking about the Dexter series. Son of mother! If you couldn't tell, I was not exactly a fan. It should be obvious that I'm gonna be delving pretty heavily into spoilers on this thing. It's hard to even know where to start. I'm gonna try and confine as much as I can to the series finale itself, but I am gonna have to talk a little bit about the season leading up to it. So let's get that stuff out of the way first. Season 8 has a couple of inherent problems. The first is that season 2 of Dexter really should have been the last season. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying they should have stopped making more Dexter after the second season. What I'm saying is the feel of season 2 is what the feel of a final season should have been for that show. If you don't remember, there was no season-long serial killer that Dexter was hunting down. He was the killer and everybody was closing in on him. Oh my God, they're gonna catch him. That should have been the feeling for the final season. Another thing this season had working against him, this is gonna factor in more directly with the last episode, is Hannah McKay. Because the idea that Dexter abandons Harrison to Hannah McKay just seems wrong. Here's the thing, Dexter may have been a killer, he may have sort of been a magnet for all sorts of dangerous stuff, and he may have even been right in terms of he would always endanger the people around him, but at least he knew how to function in society. Hannah never really seems to have that. Her solution to every problem she ever has is to poison it. That's even how she tries to get Dexter's attention when she wants his help. What the heck is she gonna do the first time Harrison, as a teenager, brings home a girl that she doesn't like? And then there's Deb. I can't decide if I have an inherent issue with Deb dying or not. I do have an issue with how they did it, in terms of just how it was portrayed and then how Dexter reacted, which was just weird. He takes her body out and dumps it in the ocean like he had done to all of his victims? What in the hell is he doing? And then, of course, there's Dexter himself. Now, I can just barely go with the idea that he has come to the conclusion that he will always be a danger to those around him and that he feels it safest to leave those people that he loves behind. I can kind of go with that, but it's still an inherently unsatisfying thing for him to be doing because he's been dealing with this question and this issue. It's a legitimate fear, but the idea that he battled that for 8 seasons, ultimately to just give in to that fear and say, heck with it, I'm leaving, is supremely unsatisfying, and it makes him come across as weak. He basically gave up the fight. Then we add in the whole thing with the whole lumberjack thing, which first of all is weird in the first damn place. Second of all, there had just been some hint that he was still killing, that, you know, his kill tools on that table, something, anything, because if he's not going to embrace that dark passenger side of himself, what was the point of abandoning everybody? It's like they tried to make him a martyr, but all they really did was make him a wuss. But you know what? Here's the thing. All of those things are problems. They're issues. But it's the feel of the episode. It does not feel like Dexter. It feels like they wrote this thing, handed it over to a director and a crew who had never seen an episode of Dexter in their lives. The beating heart of Dexter as a show has always been tension. The tension of him hunting his next kill. The tension that maybe he's going to get caught. The tension that maybe he will get killed on those occasions when they had a really worthy adversary for him. It's always been about the tension. And there is almost no tension whatsoever in the way this final episode is presented. There's a split second where it starts to feel like Dexter again, and that's when Dexter is sitting across from Sax and says, "I'm gonna kill you with that pen." For about 5 seconds, like, oh! And that's the only fleeting moment. And the rest of it, the thing just sort of meanders about. Not even tying up loose ends. I'm not even sure what it is this episode is doing. Because the actual events that had to be wrapped up get wrapped up by about the halfway mark, and then everything after that is just what is this? I've seen a lot of final episodes, but I have never, ever in my life an episode so completely disappointing and disconnected from everything that came before it. Maybe once the rage calms down, it'll be sort of a fascinating case study, but I tell you right now, I got nothing. And on that nihilistic little note, this council is adjourned.